How physics reveals what is emerging from the darkest regions of the cosmos. There are places in the universe where reality itself appears to break apart. Regions so dark, so violent, and so extreme that even the laws of physics begin to lose their certainty. For most of human history, we believe these places were silent cosmic graves, empty abysses where matter vanished forever and where light itself could never return. But something changed. Across the last decades, observatories orbiting Earth and instruments pointed toward the farthest reaches of the cosmos began detecting phenomena that should not exist. Strange bursts of energy emerging from impossible regions, particles appearing where nothing was supposed to escape, invisible structures bending galaxies like puppets suspended on cosmic strings no human eye can see. And the deeper scientists looked into the darkness, the more disturbing the discoveries became. Because the universe is no longer behaving like an empty machine governed by predictable rules. Instead, it is beginning to resemble something alive with hidden processes unfolding beneath reality itself. The darkness between stars is not silent. It vibrates with invisible energy. Black holes may not simply consume matter, they may transform it. Even empty space, once thought to be nothingness, now appears filled with microscopic storms erupting beyond human perception. Tonight, we are not exploring the universe humanity once imagined. We are entering the regions where modern physics begins to lose control. We are going to travel beyond the edge of visible light, beyond collapsing stars, beyond the boundaries of space-time itself, into places where scientists are uncovering evidence that something may be emerging from the darkest regions of the cosmos. And perhaps the most terrifying part of all this is not that these mysteries exist. It is that the universe may have been revealing them to us from the very beginning. The first signal that shouldn't exist. In 1967, a strange signal arrived from deep space. It pulsed with impossible precision, a perfect rhythm repeating across the silence of the cosmos like a heartbeat emerging from the darkness. For a brief moment, scientists genuinely considered the possibility that they had intercepted evidence of intelligent life beyond Earth. The signal was so unnatural, so exact, that it did not resemble anything known in astronomy at the time. But what they had actually discovered was something equally terrifying. A pulsar, the collapsed core of a dead star spinning at unimaginable speed, emitting beams of radiation across the universe like a cosmic lighthouse. A single teaspoon of its material would weigh billions of tons. Matter compressed so violently that atoms themselves had been crushed beyond recognition. And yet, this discovery was only the beginning. As telescopes became more powerful, humanity started detecting signals far stranger than pulsars, explosions of radio energy lasting milliseconds but releasing more power than entire galaxies, invisible jets emerging near black holes at velocities approaching the speed of light, gravitational distortions spreading across space-time itself like ripples moving through an invisible ocean. The deeper we looked, the more the universe seemed to violate our expectations, especially near black holes. According to classical physics, nothing should escape beyond the event horizon. Not light, not information, not matter. The gravitational pull becomes so overwhelming that every possible path leads inward. It is the ultimate cosmic prison. And yet, the universe keeps producing evidence that something is happening near these regions that modern science still cannot fully explain. In 1974, physicist Stephen Hawking introduced an idea so shocking that it transformed our understanding of black holes forever. Through quantum effects near the event horizon, black holes might slowly emit radiation, tiny particles appearing from the vacuum of space itself. The implication was staggering. If information can somehow escape from a black hole, then the universe may be operating according to laws we do not yet understand. This became known as the information paradox, one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in modern physics. Because if information truly disappears inside a black hole, then the foundations of quantum mechanics begin to collapse. But if information survives, then something far stranger may be occurring inside those dark regions of space-time. And now, decades later, new observations are deepening the mystery even further. Scientists are detecting colossal structures surrounding supermassive black holes, magnetic fields so powerful they reshape entire galaxies, strange emissions emerging from regions where gravity should destroy every form of order. Some black holes appear to eject more energy than the stars around them combined. It is as if the darkness is not merely consuming the universe, it is interacting with it. And this raises a question that becomes more disturbing the longer we think about it. What if black holes are not cosmic endings? What if they are part of a process we have only just begun to notice? Because the closer physics moves toward the darkest places in existence, the more reality itself begins to look unfinished. The invisible ocean beneath empty space. For centuries, humanity imagined space as emptiness, a silent void stretching endlessly between stars and galaxies, a cold vacuum where nothing existed except isolated islands of matter drifting through darkness. Even the word space carried the idea of absence, of distance, of nothingness separating celestial worlds from one another. But modern physics uncovered something deeply unsettling. Empty space is not empty at all. In fact, what we call nothing may be one of the most active and violent environments in the entire universe. Right now, in the darkness surrounding Earth, invisible processes are unfolding everywhere. Tiny particles emerge and disappear in fractions of a second. Fields of energy fluctuate continuously beneath reality itself. Space trembles with microscopic instability so intense that the vacuum of the cosmos resembles a hidden ocean boiling underneath existence. And the most disturbing part is this: these invisible storms are happening everywhere, all the time, even in complete darkness. According to quantum physics, the vacuum of space cannot remain perfectly still. The laws governing the universe force empty space to fluctuate constantly. Particles spontaneously appear in pairs, exist for an instant, then annihilate one another before they can be directly observed. These are known as virtual particles, and although they sound abstract, their effects are measurable in laboratories on Earth. Which means the emptiness surrounding galaxies is not truly empty. It is alive with invisible activity. This realization completely transformed humanity's understanding of the cosmos. Because if empty space itself contains hidden energy, then the darkness between stars may not be passive emptiness. It may be an active structure influencing the evolution of the universe itself. And there is evidence suggesting exactly that. Astronomers discovered that galaxies do not rotate according to the visible matter they contain. The outer stars move far too quickly, as though enormous invisible masses surround them. Something unseen appears to be holding galaxies together, shaping their motion from beyond visibility. This mysterious influence became known as dark matter. But despite decades of research, nobody knows what dark matter actually is. It does not emit light. It does not reflect radiation. It cannot be directly photographed, and yet its gravitational presence dominates the architecture of the cosmos. Entire galaxy clusters behave as though submerged inside colossal, invisible structures stretching across millions of light years. Imagine standing in the middle of the ocean without realizing the water exists, watching waves move around you while remaining blind to the substance controlling them. That may be humanity's current relationship with the universe. We see stars, we see galaxies, we see explosions of light across cosmic distances. But according to modern physics, almost everything shaping reality remains hidden from us. And then things become even stranger. In recent years, physicists began questioning whether empty space itself may contain enormous amounts of latent energy. Some calculations suggest that the vacuum of space holds more energy than all stars in the observable universe combined, a hidden reservoir woven directly into space-time itself. If true, then the darkness between galaxies is not an absence of reality. It may be the foundation from which reality emerges. This idea changes the emotional meaning of the cosmos completely, because the universe no longer appears as scattered matter floating inside emptiness. Instead, visible reality starts to resemble foam rising from a much deeper invisible ocean. And in the darkest regions of space, where light disappears and gravity dominates, those hidden layers may become exposed. That possibility terrifies physicists for a reason. Because if spacetime itself emerges from invisible quantum structures beneath reality, then black holes may not simply destroy matter. They may reveal the deeper mechanisms operating underneath the universe we experience. The darkness may not hide emptiness. It may hide the machinery of creation itself. And somewhere beyond the reach of visible light, inside regions where space-time collapses under its own weight, the cosmos may already be showing us what lies beneath reality's surface. When gravity begins to distort reality, there comes a point in the universe where gravity stops behaving like a force and begins behaving like a distortion of existence itself. Near Earth, gravity feels simple. It keeps oceans in place, guides planets around stars, and gives weight to every object we touch. But in the deepest regions of the cosmos, gravity becomes something far more terrifying. It bends time, it reshapes light, it stretches reality until the universe itself begins to deform. And nowhere is this transformation more extreme than near a black hole. Imagine approaching one of these objects slowly. At first, nothing appears unusual. A dark sphere suspended in silence, no surface, no visible structure, only darkness so absolute that it seems to erase the stars behind it. But the closer you move toward it, the stranger reality becomes. Time itself begins to slow down, not metaphorically, not psychologically, physically. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, gravity affects the flow of time. The stronger the gravitational field, the slower time passes relative to distant observers. Near a sufficiently massive black hole, this effect becomes extreme. Minutes for you could become years for someone far away. A civilization watching from a safe distance would see your movement slowing almost to complete stillness as you approach the event horizon. The universe literally separates different observers into different experiences of time. And then comes the light. Near these regions, gravity bends the path of photons themselves. Entire galaxies appear warped around black holes like reflections on broken glass. Light circles invisible objects in impossible arcs. Space no longer behaves as an empty stage where events occur. It becomes elastic, dynamic, distorted by mass and energy. This phenomenon is known as gravitational lensing, and astronomers have observed it across the universe. Massive, invisible structures bend light, traveling billions of years through space, creating ghost-like duplicates of distant galaxies suspended around unseen gravitational sources. The cosmos itself becomes visually unstable, but the true horror begins deeper inside. At a certain distance from a black hole, the gravitational difference between your head and your feet becomes catastrophic. The side of your body closer to the black hole experiences stronger gravity than the side farther away. The result is tidal stretching so violent that matter itself is pulled apart atom by atom. Physicists call this spaghettification, a word almost absurdly harmless for something so terrifying. Stars suffer this fate regularly. Entire suns wander too close to supermassive black holes and are torn into streams of incandescent plasma spiraling into darkness. Astronomers have observed these cosmic deaths unfolding in distant galaxies, enormous eruptions of radiation marking the final moments of stars being destroyed by gravity. And yet, even these events may not represent the true limit of what gravity can do. Because according to general relativity, once matter collapses beyond a critical point, space-time itself curves inward infinitely. A singularity forms, a region where density becomes infinite and the known laws of physics cease functioning entirely. This is where modern science reaches a wall. Inside a singularity, our equations collapse. Gravity becomes infinite. Space and time lose meaning. Physics can no longer describe what happens next. Think about what that means. Humanity has built machines capable of observing galaxies billions of light years away. We have mapped the birth of stars and measured the expansion of the universe itself. And yet, inside the deepest gravitational regions in existence, reality enters a condition our civilization still cannot explain. It is as though the universe deliberately hides something beyond that boundary. And some physicists believe this is not a coincidence, because gravity may not merely distort space-time. It may expose the deeper structure underneath reality itself. In recent years, scientists studying quantum gravity began proposing a radical possibility. Space and time may not be fundamental components of the universe at all. They may emerge from deeper informational processes hidden beneath observable reality. If this idea is true, then black holes are not simply massive objects collapsing inward. They are cracks in the visible architecture of existence, places where the surface of reality begins to break apart. And beyond those cracks, something may already be waiting. The cosmic shadows surrounding every galaxy. When astronomers first began measuring the motion of galaxies, they expected the universe to behave according to common sense. Stars near the center of a galaxy should move quickly because of the intense concentration of mass there. Stars farther away should orbit more slowly, just as distant planets in our solar system move more gently around the sun. The mathematics seemed straightforward, predictable, stable, but the universe refused to obey. In the outer regions of galaxies, stars were moving far too fast. So fast, in fact, that entire galaxies should have torn themselves apart billions of years ago. According to everything scientists understood about gravity, those distant stars should have escaped into intergalactic space, and yet they remained trapped in orbit. Something invisible was holding them together. At first, astronomers assumed they had made errors in their calculations. But the deeper they investigated, the stranger the mystery became. The anomaly appeared everywhere: spiral galaxies, elliptical galaxies, giant clusters stretching across millions of light years. Every structure in the cosmos seemed surrounded by an enormous hidden presence no telescope could directly observe. The universe was filled with invisible mass. This became one of the most disturbing discoveries in modern science, because when physicists calculated the amount of ordinary matter in the observable universe, the numbers did not make sense. Stars, planets, gas clouds, nebulae, black holes, and every visible object combined accounted for only a small fraction of the gravitational effect shaping the cosmos. Most of the universe was missing, or rather hidden. This unseen influence became known as dark matter, though the name itself reveals humanity's uncertainty. Scientists do not know what dark matter is made of. They only know that without it, galaxies could not exist in their current form. Imagine standing inside a city at night while remaining unable to see the buildings around you. You only notice their existence because of the way the wind moves through invisible streets. That is how humanity perceives dark matter, not directly, but through its gravitational fingerprints spread across the universe. And those fingerprints are colossal. Modern observations suggest that galaxies are embedded inside massive dark matter halos extending far beyond visible stars. These structures are so enormous that the Milky Way itself may float inside an invisible sphere hundreds of thousands of light years across. A hidden cosmic skeleton surrounds every galaxy in existence. But the mystery deepens even further. When scientists mapped the large-scale structure of the universe, they discovered something astonishing. Galaxies are not randomly scattered through space. Instead, they form gigantic interconnected filaments stretching across unimaginable distances, separated by vast cosmic voids almost completely empty of visible matter. The observable universe resembles a web, a colossal invisible network connecting galaxies across billions of light years. And dark matter appears to shape that entire architecture from behind the scenes. This realization changes the emotional meaning of the cosmos entirely. Because the stars we see may not be the true foundation of reality, visible galaxies may simply illuminate deeper invisible structures humanity still cannot fully comprehend, like dust floating across unseen currents in a vast cosmic ocean. And then comes an even more unsettling possibility. Some physicists now wonder whether dark matter is not merely hidden matter at all. What if it represents evidence that our understanding of gravity itself is incomplete? What if the universe operates according to deeper laws that only reveal themselves on cosmic scales? If that is true, then dark matter may not simply surround galaxies. It may point toward an entirely new layer of physics waiting to be discovered, a hidden framework beneath visible reality. And somewhere inside the darkest regions of the cosmos, where gravity becomes extreme and space-time bends beyond recognition, those invisible structures may become impossible to ignore, because the universe is beginning to reveal a terrifying pattern. The more we observe the darkness, the less visible matter seems to matter at all. The strange objects hiding inside the darkness. For most people, the universe appears organized. Planets orbit stars, galaxies drift through space. Gravity shapes matter into structures that obey recognizable patterns. Even the violence of the cosmos seems understandable once physics explains the mechanisms behind it. But hidden in the darkness are objects so strange that they barely resemble anything humanity expected reality to create. And some of them may not even fit within the known laws of physics. The deeper astronomers explore the cosmos, the more they encounter entities existing at the edge of scientific comprehension. Objects with impossible densities, stars that failed to become stars, invisible remnants collapsing under forces so extreme that matter enters states never observed on Earth. The universe is filled with things stranger than imagination. Consider neutron stars. When massive stars die, they do not always vanish quietly. Some collapse so violently that protons and electrons inside their atoms fuse together, forming a sphere composed almost entirely of neutrons. What remains is an object with the mass of an entire star compressed into a city-sized structure barely 20 kilometers wide. The result is terrifying. A single teaspoon of neutron star material would weigh billions of tons. Its magnetic fields become so powerful they can distort atomic structures from thousands of kilometers away. Some rotate hundreds of times every second, releasing beams of radiation with mechanical precision across the darkness of space. And yet neutron stars may not represent the final limit of matter, because physicists suspect that under even greater pressure, reality itself may begin changing phase. Inside the cores of these objects, matter could transform into exotic states never naturally encountered elsewhere in the observable universe. Quark matter, strange matter, configurations where atomic boundaries dissolve completely and particles merge into forms still poorly understood by science. The cosmos may already contain environments where matter stops behaving like matter. Then there are brown dwarfs, objects too massive to be planets, yet too small to ignite sustained nuclear fusion like true stars. Failed suns wandering through darkness, radiating faint heat across interstellar space like dying embers abandoned by the universe itself. Astronomers now believe the galaxy may contain billions of them, invisible worlds drifting silently between the stars. And hidden deeper still are objects even more disturbing. Magnetars, the most magnetic entities known to exist. Their magnetic fields are so powerful they could erase the information stored inside every credit card on Earth from halfway to the moon. If one passed too close to our planet, its radiation could disrupt atoms inside human tissue itself. These are not merely stars. They are cosmic engines operating under conditions so extreme that physics becomes unstable around them. But perhaps the strangest possibility of all lies in objects humanity has never confirmed. Primordial black holes, tiny black holes that may have formed in the first moments after the Big Bang. Some scientists believe they could still drift invisibly through the universe today, ancient remnants from the birth of space-time itself. If they exist, they would represent windows into the earliest era of reality, carrying information from a time before stars, galaxies, or planets even existed. Think about what that means. The darkness surrounding us may contain ancient objects older than every visible structure in the cosmos, and humanity would barely notice them. This is the terrifying truth modern astronomy keeps uncovering. The universe is not merely stranger than we imagined. It may be fundamentally alien to human intuition. Every time science develops more powerful instruments, the darkness reveals entities more bizarre than the last. And instead of simplifying reality, each discovery expands the mystery further. Because hidden inside the cosmos are objects that seem less like natural phenomena and more like glimpses into unfinished physics, fragments of a deeper universe humanity still cannot fully perceive. And among all those strange entities drifting through the darkness, none challenge our understanding of existence more than black holes themselves. Because the closer physicists examine them, the more impossible they become. The possibility that black holes are not endings. For decades, black holes were described as the ultimate cosmic graveyards, regions where stars go to die, places where gravity becomes so absolute that nothing can escape once it crosses the event horizon. Matter falls inward, light disappears forever, information vanishes into darkness. From the outside, black holes appeared to represent the end of every possible story. But modern physics is beginning to challenge that terrifying simplicity. Because the deeper scientists investigate black holes, the more these objects start resembling something far stranger than destruction, something transformative. At the center of this mystery lies a question that has haunted physicists for generations. What actually happens to matter inside a black hole? According to classical relativity, everything collapses toward a singularity, a point of infinite density where space-time curves beyond all limits. But infinities in physics usually signal that our equations are incomplete. Nature rarely tolerates true infinities. Instead, they often reveal where human understanding breaks apart. And black holes may represent the greatest fracture in modern science. Because quantum mechanics insists that information can never truly disappear, the properties describing particles must remain preserved somehow, even after catastrophic transformations. But if black holes permanently erase information, then one of the foundational principles of quantum physics collapses. This contradiction shook the scientific world. It implied that either quantum mechanics was incomplete or black holes were hiding processes humanity still could not perceive. Then came one of the most radical ideas ever proposed in theoretical physics. What if black holes are not endings at all? What if they are transitions? Some physicists began exploring the possibility that matter entering a black hole does not simply vanish. Instead, under extreme gravitational compression, space-time itself may reorganize into entirely new structures. The collapse could trigger conditions capable of generating separate regions of reality disconnected from our own universe. In other words, black holes might create new universes. This concept sounds like science fiction, yet versions of it emerge naturally from certain solutions to Einstein's equations. Under specific conditions, collapsing space-time could theoretically form bridges, tunnels, or expanding regions hidden beyond observable boundaries. These hypothetical structures became known as wormholes, passageways connecting distant points in space-time, or perhaps something even stranger. Gateways into newborn universes carrying entirely different physical laws. Imagine a star collapsing under its own gravity until matter compresses beyond every known limit. From the outside, it appears swallowed by darkness forever. But beyond the event horizon, reality itself may undergo transformation. Space could curve inward, then unfold outward again into a separate expanding cosmos invisible from our perspective. A black hole in one universe, a beginning in another. And suddenly, the universe changes emotionally. Because black holes stop resembling cosmic tombs and begin resembling seeds, engines of creation hidden inside destruction itself. This possibility becomes even more unsettling when physicists examine the origins of our own universe. The Big Bang appears strangely similar to the conditions predicted inside gravitational singularities: extreme density, extreme curvature, a sudden expansion of space-time from an incomprehensibly compressed state. Some researchers have quietly wondered whether our own universe emerged from the collapse occurring inside another cosmic structure beyond our observable reality. A child universe born from another universe's black hole. If true, then every black hole scattered across the cosmos may contain hidden worlds beyond human observation, entire realities branching outward from gravitational collapse like invisible cosmic offspring. And there is something almost haunting about that idea. Right now, across billions of galaxies, stars are dying. Black holes are forming. Matter is falling inward beyond event horizons humanity can never cross. What if each of those collapses is not an ending? What if they are births happening in darkness no civilization can directly witness? The universe suddenly becomes far larger than visible space, an endless chain of realities generating new realities through cycles of collapse and emergence. And if black holes are connected to creation itself, then the darkness at the center of the cosmos may not represent death at all. It may represent the mechanism through which existence continuously renews itself. The moment scientists realize the universe may be consciously organized, there is a question so unsettling that many scientists avoid speaking about it directly. Why does the universe obey mathematics so perfectly? Not approximately, not loosely, with astonishing precision. The same equations capable of describing the motion of planets can also predict the bending of light around black holes billions of light years away. Tiny mathematical relationships discovered on Earth somehow govern exploding stars, galactic collisions, and the expansion of space-time itself. It is as though the cosmos follows an invisible architecture written into reality before the first star was born. And the deeper physics advances, the stranger that precision becomes. Take gravity. The strength of gravity appears calibrated with extraordinary balance. If it were slightly stronger, stars would burn too quickly and collapse violently before life had time to emerge. Slightly weaker, and galaxies might never form at all. The same delicate balance exists throughout physics. The masses of particles, the strength of electromagnetism, the expansion rate of the universe. Again and again, scientists encounter a disturbing realization. The cosmos appears finely structured for complexity to exist. This observation became known as the fine-tuning problem, and it remains one of the most profound mysteries in modern science. Because the universe seems balanced on invisible thresholds so narrow that even tiny deviations could erase stars, chemistry, planets, and life itself. And then, mathematics makes the mystery even deeper. Certain equations developed purely through abstract thought later turned out to describe real phenomena hidden inside the universe. Physicists have repeatedly discovered mathematical structures before observing the physical realities connected to them. Think about how strange that is. Human beings sitting on a small planet orbiting an ordinary star somehow uncover symbolic patterns that later reveal the behavior of black holes, quantum particles, and the evolution of the cosmos itself. Why should reality be understandable at all? Why should mathematics created inside the human mind correspond so precisely to processes unfolding across billions of light years? Some scientists interpret this as coincidence. Others see it as evidence that intelligence naturally evolves to recognize the structure of reality around it. But for many physicists, the feeling is far more unsettling. It sometimes appears as though the universe wants to be understood. And nowhere is this sensation stronger than in the hidden symmetries of physics. Beneath the apparent chaos of nature lie elegant patterns repeating across radically different scales. Spirals emerge in galaxies and hurricanes alike. Quantum fields obey symmetrical relationships, almost beautiful in their simplicity. The same fundamental principles shape atoms, stars, and the cosmic web itself. Reality appears interconnected in ways humanity still barely comprehends. Then came quantum entanglement, perhaps the most disturbing discovery in modern physics. Two particles can become linked so completely that measuring one instantly affects the other, even across enormous cosmic distances. Einstein himself called it spooky action at a distance because it seemed to violate the intuitive separation between objects in space. The universe, at its deepest level, may not be composed of isolated things at all. It may behave like a single interconnected system beyond ordinary human perception. And this realization changed something profound inside modern physics, because scientists stopped viewing the universe as a giant machine made of separate parts. Instead, reality began resembling an enormous informational structure where matter, energy, space, and time emerge from deeper underlying relationships. Some physicists now propose that spacetime itself may be a kind of projection emerging from hidden quantum information beneath reality. The visible universe could be more like the surface of a deeper process humanity cannot directly observe, a shadow cast by hidden dimensions of existence. And if that idea is true, then the terrifying order hidden throughout physics may not be accidental at all. The cosmos may possess layers of organization far beyond current human understanding. Not consciousness in the human sense, something far stranger, a universe whose laws generate complexity, structure, and awareness as part of its natural evolution, which raises a question impossible to ignore. If reality contains hidden architecture beneath visible existence, then what exactly is emerging from the deepest regions where space-time itself begins to break apart? Because the closer science moves toward the darkness, the more the universe begins to resemble something organized beyond coincidence. The hidden war between light and darkness in the cosmos. The universe appears peaceful from a distance. Stars glow softly across the night sky. Galaxies drift in silence through the darkness. Nebulae bloom like celestial clouds suspended across eternity. To human eyes, the cosmos often feels calm, almost eternal. But this illusion disappears the moment we begin looking deeper, because beneath the beauty of the universe, an invisible conflict is unfolding across every scale of existence. A struggle between creation and collapse, between light and darkness. Every star you see in the night sky exists in defiance of gravity. Inside those stars, nuclear fusion pushes outward with unimaginable force while gravity relentlessly attempts to crush them inward. The sun itself survives because these opposing powers remain temporarily balanced. The moment that balance fails, the star begins to die. Even light is born from cosmic violence. Deep inside stellar cores, atoms collide under temperatures so extreme that matter transforms into radiant energy. Photons begin a journey that can take thousands of years just to escape the interior of a star. Every sunrise on Earth is the visible result of ancient atomic warfare unfolding inside a massive sphere of plasma. And yet darkness always waits. Stars exhaust their fuel. Fusion weakens, gravity returns. Some stars collapse quietly into white dwarfs. Others explode with such catastrophic power that for a brief moment, they outshine entire galaxies. Supernovae scatter heavy elements across the cosmos, seeding future planets, moons, oceans, and eventually life itself. Your body was forged inside those explosions. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen you breathe, all born from dying stars losing their battle against gravity. The universe creates through destruction, but the conflict extends far beyond stars. Across billions of light years, galaxies collide continuously. Enormous gravitational tides tear through spiral arms, triggering violent bursts of star formation, while black holes at galactic centers awaken with terrifying intensity. Jets of radiation erupt outward at nearly the speed of light, blasting energy across intergalactic space. Entire regions of the cosmos are shaped by invisible forces competing for dominance. Then comes dark energy, perhaps the strangest force ever discovered. In the late 20th century, astronomers expected the expansion of the universe to slow down over time because gravity should gradually pull galaxies back together. But observations revealed something completely unexpected. The expansion of the universe is accelerating. Some unknown force is pushing galaxies apart faster and faster as cosmic time advances. No one fully understands what dark energy is. It cannot be seen directly. It appears woven into space-time itself, acting against gravity across unimaginable distances. Today, scientists estimate that ordinary visible matter represents only a tiny fraction of the universe. Dark matter and dark energy dominate almost everything that exists. The cosmos is ruled by invisible forces, and suddenly, humanity's place inside reality changes emotionally. Everything we see, every planet, every star, every living creature, exists inside a universe controlled mostly by things we still cannot explain. Visible reality may simply be the illuminated surface of much deeper invisible processes, and in the darkest regions of the cosmos, those hidden forces become overwhelming. Near black holes, gravity consumes light itself. Inside galactic voids, dark energy stretches space-time across expanding emptiness. Invisible dark matter shapes galaxies from beyond visibility, while radiation from dying stars races across billions of years, carrying echoes of ancient destruction. The universe is not static. It is dynamic tension unfolding across eternity. An endless balance between collapse and emergence, between order and chaos, between illumination and darkness. And now, physicists are beginning to suspect that this cosmic struggle may produce something entirely unexpected. Because in the deepest regions where light disappears and known physics begins to fail, reality may not simply collapse into silence. It may transform. Something may be forming inside that darkness, something the universe has been building since the first moments after the Big Bang. What may be emerging from the darkest regions of the universe? There is a terrifying possibility hidden inside modern physics. The darkest regions of the cosmos may not be empty voids swallowing reality into oblivion. They may be places where entirely new forms of existence are beginning to emerge. For centuries, humanity imagined darkness as absence, the lack of light, the end of structure, the collapse of order into silence. But the deeper science investigates the universe, the more darkness starts behaving less like emptiness and more like a boundary between different layers of reality, a threshold. And beyond that threshold, something may already be forming. Near black holes, ordinary physics begins to fracture. Space curves toward impossible extremes. Time slows almost to stillness. Quantum fluctuations erupt near event horizons, where gravity and subatomic physics collide with unimaginable intensity. These are not normal environments. They are conditions unlike anything naturally accessible anywhere else in the observable universe, which means something extraordinary may happen there. Some physicists believe that under these extreme conditions, space-time itself could transition into new states. Matter compressed beyond atomic structure may reorganize into exotic forms still unknown to science. Information falling into black holes may not disappear, but instead become encoded into deeper layers of reality, invisible from our perspective. The darkness may be processing reality itself. And then there are the strange signals. Fast radio bursts arriving from distant galaxies with energy so enormous they challenge conventional explanations. Mysterious high-energy particles striking Earth from unknown cosmic accelerators. Gravitational waves spreading across space-time from collisions involving invisible objects humanity cannot directly observe. Again and again, the universe produces phenomena emerging from regions where current physics becomes unstable. It is as though the cosmos is leaking fragments of processes occurring beyond our understanding. And perhaps the most disturbing possibility of all is this: the universe may not be finished. Most people unconsciously imagine the laws of physics as complete and permanent, like fixed rules governing existence from beginning to end. But some theoretical models suggest reality itself evolves. Under extreme conditions, new structures, new physical states, or even new dimensions could emerge naturally from the universe's ongoing development. The cosmos may still be creating itself. Right now, inside collapsing stars, inside quantum fields, inside the violent gravitational engines hidden at the centers of galaxies, and humanity may be witnessing only the earliest signs. There are physicists who suspect that black holes could generate entirely new forms of space-time disconnected from our own observable universe. Others propose that dark matter may consist of particles belonging to hidden sectors of reality barely interacting with visible matter. Some theories even suggest our universe exists inside a larger multidimensional structure, where unseen physical processes continuously shape the reality we experience. Imagine what that means emotionally. Everything humanity has ever known may exist inside only a thin, visible layer of a far larger cosmic system, like creatures living beneath the surface of an ocean without understanding the existence of the sky above them. And occasionally, from the deepest trenches of that cosmic ocean, something rises. Signals, distortions, fragments of hidden physics surfacing briefly into observable space. This possibility changes the meaning of darkness completely. The voids between galaxies stop feeling empty. Black holes stop resembling endings. Even the silence of space begins to feel active, almost watchful, as though invisible processes are unfolding continuously beyond the limits of human perception. And perhaps the greatest shock is not that these hidden mechanisms exist. It is that humanity evolved at precisely the moment in cosmic history capable of detecting them. Our species emerged on a small planet orbiting an ordinary star, yet somehow developed the intelligence necessary to uncover fractures in space-time, quantum instability inside empty space, and invisible forces shaping the architecture of the universe itself. The cosmos spent billions of years creating stars, galaxies, heavy elements, and biological life. And now, through conscious observers, it has begun examining its own darkness. But there is one final realization waiting beyond all of this. One truth more unsettling than black holes, dark matter, or hidden dimensions. The possibility that the universe was never empty to begin with. The final truth. The universe was never empty. For thousands of years, humanity feared the darkness. Ancient civilizations looked into the night sky and saw an abyss, an endless emptiness surrounding the fragile light of existence. Even modern science inherited part of that instinct. We imagined the cosmos as isolated islands of matter separated by enormous regions of silence and void. But everything we have discovered has been leading toward a completely different truth. The universe was never empty, not between galaxies, not inside black holes, not even inside the vacuum of space itself. What we once called emptiness now appears filled with invisible structure, hidden energy, quantum instability, dark matter, gravitational fields, and processes unfolding beneath the visible surface of reality. The darkness surrounding the stars is not passive absence. It is active, dynamic, alive with forces humanity is only beginning to perceive. And perhaps this changes the emotional meaning of existence more than any scientific discovery before it. Because the cosmos no longer resembles a dead machine drifting through meaningless silence. It resembles a continuously unfolding process of transformation. Stars collapse and create the elements necessary for life. Black holes may preserve or reorganize information instead of destroying it. Invisible matter shapes galaxies across billions of light years. Quantum fields vibrate beneath reality itself, generating fluctuations from apparent nothingness. Everywhere science looks, the universe reveals hidden layers beneath what humans first assumed was empty space. And maybe that pattern is not accidental. Perhaps reality has always been deeper than appearances. There is something profoundly humbling about this realization. Human beings evolved under a thin atmosphere on a small world orbiting an ordinary star near the edge of one galaxy among trillions. Our senses were designed for survival, not for understanding the architecture of space-time or the behavior of quantum fields near black holes. And yet, somehow, consciousness emerged. A species capable of looking into the darkness and asking questions. A civilization capable of building instruments sensitive enough to detect invisible particles, gravitational waves, and ancient radiation traveling across the universe since the birth of time itself. The cosmos became aware of its own mysteries through us. That may be the most extraordinary fact in existence. Not simply that the universe contains hidden structures beyond imagination, but that matter organized itself into conscious observers capable of discovering them. Every equation written by physicists, every telescope pointed toward deep space, every signal captured from the farthest regions of the cosmos represents the universe slowly uncovering itself through human curiosity. And the deeper we investigate, the stranger reality becomes. Because each discovery destroys another illusion of simplicity. We learned that Earth was not the center of existence. Then we learned the sun was ordinary. Then we learned galaxies filled the cosmos beyond counting. Then we discovered dark matter, dark energy, quantum uncertainty, gravitational distortions, and invisible fields underlying physical reality. Every generation believed it stood close to final understanding. Every generation was wrong. The universe always turned out to be larger, stranger, and more mysterious than expected, which means the greatest discoveries may still lie ahead. Right now, somewhere in the darkness beyond visible light, processes are unfolding that no human mind fully understands. Black holes continue consuming stars. Quantum fluctuations continue erupting beneath empty space. Invisible forces continue shaping galaxies while spacetime stretches across an expanding cosmos whose true structure remains hidden from us. And perhaps, in those deepest regions where reality bends beyond recognition, something entirely new is emerging. Not monsters, not civilizations, something far more profound. New forms of physics, new structures of spacetime, new layers of existence waiting beyond the horizon of human understanding. One day, future civilizations may look back at humanity the way modern astronomers look back at ancient stargazers, a species standing at the shoreline of an infinite cosmic ocean, only beginning to realize the depth of the waters surrounding them. And maybe the ultimate lesson hidden inside the darkness is this: the universe is not a cold emptiness waiting to be escaped. It is a living mystery waiting to be explored. The stars were never the whole story. They were only the lights shining above the abyss. And beneath that abyss, the cosmos may still be creating itself.